Icon Radio, your number one entertainment plug.
Hello, everyone. I'm your girl, Myra Maloba, the Afro-Punk Queen, here at Icon Radio, your number one entertainment plug. We're in the home of digital content creators, DGI Brandem. You can find DGI Brandem on Facebook and Twitter at dgi.brandem, as well as YouTube. And you can find Icon Radio. Hey, I need water. You can find my producer over there doesn't know how to keep quiet, but it's okay. You can find Icon Radio on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube, all at Icon Radio KE, as well as stream us on www.iconradio.co.ke. I got in studio with me, Jesse Muraya, here on Money Mondays. We're all about businesses, especially in the 254. Karibu sana, Jesse.
Thank you, Myra.
So let me just spell out what I got, and then now we delve more into who you are. So Jesse is the CEO of Pong Agencies Limited. He's also the CEO of Startinev Limited and the CEO of Cosmos Trading Limited. He's also the member of the board of directors for Kenya National Chambers of Commerce, and he's the chair youth committee for the Kenya National Chambers of Commerce. Hey, you are a busy man. He also does events. You are the one who hosts events for Techstars in Kenya.
Mm-hmm.
Now, Jesse, in your own words, apart from what I've read out, please tell people, for those who don't know who you are, what you do.
Okay, thank you, Myra. In my own words,
yes.
To start off, to be politically correct, I'm a husband.
Wise man.
Yeah, and
let's start there.
Other than that, I have a strong passion for technology.
Right.
Okay. Actually, that's not my background. I did not study anything to do with IT, but I just happen to love gadgets. I happen to love what innovation, what technology can do for people, for individuals, for businesses, and for the world at large.
Right.
So a lot of what I do revolves around that. And on top of that, I also do like, how do I put it, to make money while doing all these things I love.
Right.
Yeah, so... so Pong Agencies, basically, we're an IT company that does IT solutions for enterprises. So ideally, we are focused on the B2B sector, talking about you're an organization and you have certain IT requirements and you want to focus on your business instead of focusing on, how do I get my network up and running? How do I get my website up and running? How do I create amazing applications that can be able to enhance and grow my business? You're not supposed to focus on that. You're supposed to focus on your own business. So Pong Agencies comes in and helps you be able to focus on your business while we focus on your IT. Other than that, we actually have a new product that we launched recently. It's an online shop called pongafrica.shop. So ideally what we're doing is we have seen that in this highly remote world, we have a heavy need for devices. Okay, we have a large need for devices whereby people need to constantly work on the move. They need to constantly, do all sorts of things, content creation, all that. So we came up with pongafrica.shop to be able to ideally help you access those devices much easier at affordable, amazing rates. So that's everything from mobile phones, smartphones, accessories, laptops, computers.
Right.
Yeah, so that's what we do in a nutshell. Apart from that, I think you did mention that I do lead you can say a community of startups. That's what we actually call ourselves, called Startinev.
Okay.
Yeah, so ideally, this came about from the fact that we have seen there's need. I mean, we do have a lot of great innovative minds here in Kenya,
right,
who have amazing solutions, have amazing startup ideas, but they don't know how to get the word out there. They don't know how to be able to access opportunities, access capital. They don't know how to be able to access even the investors that they're looking for to be able to help them scale their business, access their markets. So we came up as a community of startups just coming together to help try and bring up those discussions and solve some of those challenges together through community, through events, and just through generally just working together towards a common good, because we do see the need to create a Silicon Valley here in Kenya, and I think we can play a huge role in that. Yeah.
And for Cosmos Trading Limited.
Yeah, and for Cosmos, that's construction. So this ideally came about from we have seen the need to incorporate technology in construction. We've seen that a lot of the construction has been a very what do you call it, a very traditional field in Kenya, whereby there's not much innovation around construction. Najua ni mawe na simiti.
Right.
Okay, so how can you be able to help streamline some of those processes? So we came up with Cosmos to be able to come up with construction solutions, and so we actually do construction for we first started off with low-level construction, like whether it's renovation works, whether it's fabrication, whether it's maintenance works. Also, for example, you have a hospital or a building that really requires some of the works to be maintained in terms of the physical infrastructure. Yeah.
I'm just sitting here and looking and I'm wondering, how old are you? I'm sorry, I just have to ask, how old are you?
Oh my, how old am I?
Looking into the distance.
Am I 33 or 34? One of them.
And you work
I was
that
born
hard.
in 88. Okay, that I know.
You work that hard that you don't even remember how old you are. I need to get to that level. I honestly do. So I stop worrying about my age and worry about the money.
Yeah, no, every time I look in the mirror and I see the hairline, it's a certain level. I stopped counting. I must have been at 31 or
Oh, yeah, so we stop from there. When it gets to the threes, we stop.
Yeah,
No, to be honest, what you do is really, really impressive. And, as in, like, the narrative is always that there's no work in Kenya. But from what I'm seeing is that you've created, you've trailblazed a lot of paths in different areas, and you've managed to find a way to marry them to work for each one. So, like, now, are these all your concepts, like Pong and Starting Up and Cosmos? Are they all your concepts, or is it something you came together with others to do?
That's a good question. Let me start off with Pong, because ideally I think that's what takes up in terms of my business life. Perhaps takes up to maybe about 50% of my time, effort, and energy.
Right.
That was actually a family business. So I actually came in and joined my dad when he started the business a few years back. So I came in after studying abroad and doing all sorts of things. And I thought that this was an amazing opportunity to actually come and make an impact and merge some of the passions that I have. So the business first started off as a telecommunication business those many years ago. So ideally it came up when there was something called KPTC, Kenya Post and Telecommunication Corporation. This was a government entity. When it broke up, there was opportunity for a lot of businesses to come in and actually start providing telecommunication solutions to various entities around Kenya. So that's when the company came up. So when I joined the business, maybe about 8 to 9 years ago, we started to venture a bit more into the broader range of technology solutions out there. Just, in terms of just being able to react to what is happening in the market and the environment. So I came in those years ago, and since then we have increased our revenues. We have been able to increase the reach of our market, and we have also been able to bring up new products and amazing solutions to people. So let me mention again one of the most amazing solutions now that we came up with, which I'm hoping to promote. Get onto your phone right now, pongafrica.shop.
Nice.
Yeah, so that you can be able to purchase some of the most affordable and amazing products out there in the market.
Okay.
Yeah, so so when you mentioned in terms of how I use my time, that is exactly how I use my time. That's roughly about 50%, though the rest is distributed now towards some of the other ventures. Things like Chamber of Commerce, for example, that's purely non-profit, or it's a non-governmental entity. So that means my work there is non-profit. So that means a lot of what I'm doing there ideally is just to give back to the society, just to be able to help and bring up other businesses, not just not just around me, because it is good to bring up the businesses around you, but also those that are not even near you, those that will really have access to any of those opportunities. So why not just go to them and see whether they can be able to reach certain opportunities that perhaps I was lucky enough to have those opportunities, but maybe they didn't.
Right.
Yeah.
And how has that worked for you in terms of course, it's good to, give back, but how has that worked for you in terms of like networking and building also the people around you?
Yeah. It's I'm going to say something very cliche. You know, your net worth, or is it your network?
Is your net worth,
Yeah,
yes.
yeah, and that is so true. So in
Right.
terms of every engagement that you have, every time, I mean, I've met you, for example, today, okay, and I believe that this is probably not the last time that I'll meet you.
Right.
And I know perhaps there are some friends that you may have, okay, that could either benefit from the services that I offer, or I could benefit from some of the services that they offer. So every single engagement, if you treat that as an opportunity, okay, so I'll try, for example, like personally, I try not to sever any sort of ties, okay. I don't have any strong feelings against any person, okay.
Right.
Even Trump, even if I don't know him. But I don't have any strong feelings against people. So that means that I'm able to create bonds that can last beyond today, and
Right.
ensure that perhaps you know, that thing about 6 degrees of separation, perhaps the next person or the next person may be somebody that may be able to benefit, and not just me, but benefit even each other. Because you
Right.
can imagine the number of times you bring people together, you link up your friends, you even start getting jealous. Hey, these guys are hanging out without me.
I get it.
And creating big beautiful and big things and amazing
Right.
stuff, which is a
Right.
good thing, and that makes you happy. So that's what I think in terms of you know, being able to network and create possibilities for people through the little things that I do.
All right.
Yeah, and I think it's all about I don't believe that you should, or I don't believe I should aim for creating change or creating 1,000,000 jobs for 1,000,000 people right now. I believe if I'm able to impact one person or be able to help out one person or work with one person, even if it's a customer, there's a ripple effect, and that may actually be able to, you know, solve some of the larger challenges through that ripple effect.
Great. I love that. All right. We'll be back after this and we'll delve more into the Pong app.
Icon Radio.
We're back with Money Mondays here with Myra Maloba, the Afropunk queen. And we're in studio with Jesse Muraya, CEO of Pong Agencies Limited. Now, in the first link, we were looking more about what you do. Now that you've zeroed us into Pong agencies, can you tell us now, give us now the full breakdown of what Pong Agencies does, what are the products, and the app?
Okay. Thank you, Myra. In terms of what we do, I'll first start off with a general overview of everything.
Right.
Okay, so like I mentioned earlier on, Pong Agencies Limited ideally is an IT company, or an ICT company providing ICT solutions for enterprises. So a lot of what we've done traditionally and in the past, and a lot of what we have gained our market share in doing, is in terms of being able to provide state-of-the-art IT solutions for enterprises. So that mainly matters to do with infrastructure. So right now, for example, in the computer that you see in front of you, there's a whole lot of stuff happening behind there, all the way from the software to the infrastructure to the cabling, all of that. That often there are people back there working in the background, be able to ensure that has happened, and for you to come just in front of your device and just click away and do
Right.
what you want to achieve. Okay, so ideally that is what we have done, and that is what we do, and that has been the bread and butter of our business for a long period of time. So we basically take the hurdle or the headache of running an IT infrastructure, and we do it for you. Okay, we have a competent team that is fully certified in being able to operate and work with top vendors such as Cisco, such as Microsoft, such as Lenovo and Dell. Okay. Now, other than that, come COVID, when COVID came in, as you know, there was a big rush towards e-commerce.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And that brought up a lot of demand for connectivity and a lot of demand for devices. So what ended up happening, how we started, was that we started to get a lot of inquiries and people ordering laptops, tablets, mobile phones. However, we didn't have a platform that could be able to actually properly sell to the market. Okay. So what do? We figured, okay, what we might do actually, let's just list some of those products on our site and see whether people will be able to take them up.
Right.
So we started to do that, and that actually started to get quite a bit of traction. So as we moved on forward with that, we thought that, okay, you know what, let's just create something that is, has a much better user experience. Because what we were saying is that people get in, but they can't be able to find the pricing easily. They can't be able to find the product that they want really as easy either. So let's create a product that will ensure that the user experience is seamless. ensure that the customer is able to find what they need, is able to get the right price, and is able to order efficiently and effectively as quickly as possible. Because I'm sure in the e-commerce world, what you know is that a lot of times, when you have money to buy something, it's like it reaches you. You want to get it now and then.
Exactly.
If you don't order and the item is not delivered today or tomorrow, you lose the money for something else. Okay. So that was a myriad of reasons that we decided to venture into that sector. So we did create an amazing platform called pongafrica.shop, ideally where we're able to now provide these devices and these solutions for our customers through an amazing integrated online experience. And that's how Pong Shop came up, and that's why we felt that was something that was needed. Because right now what is happening is you do have a lot of fragmented, you do have the Jumias. Okay, you do have the Kilimalls.
Right.
You do have the the Sky Gardens, but most of them offer, everything under the sun. Okay,
right.
So that means you're not finding dedicated support, especially for tech products, which are high value items. You're ordering something that's worth upwards of 100,000 shillings, for example, if it's one of a high end laptop. Okay, and it's just being delivered by a normal Nduli guy.
That's true.
Yeah, so there needs to be care. Ensure even when that item is delivered, you do know the applications or the softwares that are being installed. You will get personalized support on that. And then you'll also know that we do work with premium brands. We work with brands that we can be able to guarantee warranties and guarantees to ensure that the products that you're getting, you're able to get, you know that you'll get a reliable product that will last you for a very long time. So for example, for Samsung, you do know that you will get a 2-year warranty, for example. Okay, on Apple, we do have some of the products that come 2-year warranties as well. You do have the screen guard guarantees as well. So you do get you do get this product from authorized distributor reseller like us.
Right.
Yeah.
And how do you stand out about it? Like you said, there are all these e-commerce apps.
Yeah.
And there are some which put in heavy marketing.
Yeah.
How do you guys now emerge as we are those guys who are especially specialized? They're not, like you said, there are not many who are specialized, especially in gadgets and phones and tablets. How did you guys emerge out of?
Okay, that's a
all
good
the
question,
others?
Myra. A good question. Ideally, what we've understood is, for now, we don't sell everything under the sun.
That's amazing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because if we do that, we'll stretch ourselves too wide.
True.
Okay. Or we'll start providing products that are, we can't be able to guarantee the level of authenticity of a product, the level of quality of that product that we're offering.
Yeah.
So we have chosen to work with a few specific brands that that we're offering. Okay. So that is Lenovo, Dell. We're talking about people like Apple. We do have accessories such as Volcano. We do have basically a myriad. We do have Samsung. We do have SanDisk as well. So we do have a few brands that we've actually selected. They're not the ones who've come to us. We are the ones who've selected and seen. They provide great products, beautiful products. They provide products that are able to meet the customer's needs. So we have chosen to work with these products specifically and ensure that we're able to create presence for them and ensure that we're able to guarantee a certain level of product quality and service for our customers. So I think that's one of the major aspects and differentiating factors. The other one is, of course, we're still growing as an online company. So that means we're still able to provide a personalized service. Right now, if you come and order from our shop, okay, you'll have our own personal concierge just calling you, telling you, being able to advise you what's in terms of what you're looking for, in terms of for example, if you're buying a laptop, if you're buying a phone, you're not buying a laptop for the sake of a laptop. You're buying a tool to be able to work with. Yeah. Okay. You're buying a tool that you're going to be able to either use inside your office, or you're buying a tool to be able to do editing and recording. So we'll be able to advise you according to what exactly you want your products for. Okay. So we do have that personalized service that we're giving. You have safe and secure delivery as well. Okay. So ensure that the products that you're selling will be able to get to your home, to get to your office, or to get to you even on the street if you happen to be walking and you felt like you really needed those earphones. Yeah, so we have our delivery schedules are very safe and secure.
Define safe and secure because
and reliable. Let me add on reliable.
Because there are those moments where you order something and it looks amazing on the site. Like when it gets to you, vitu kwa ground is different.
Yeah, that's why I emphasize that we do not deal. I mean, like Jumia, I don't want to name drop. Let me stop name dropping.
Yeah,
but
'cause they're not paying us. So
yeah,
yes.
exactly. But other sites, for example, do have a lot of generic products on their site. Okay, and often it's written in fine print, very little letters, generic.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that means they're not being very honest to their customers in terms
True.
of telling them whether this is an original product or not. So for us, we don't deal with anything generic. We're dealing with, real brands, real value. So rest assured, okay, if it is whatever brand that you're offering, whatever you've seen on that photo, okay, you can even Google it and check the data sheet or the spec sheets on their website, and you'll know this is the exact thing that's going to be coming to you. And of course, if it's not, we'll be able to listen and be able to take back that product and give you exactly what you are looking for, or a refund if that's what you required.
Do you have a physical store, or is it just online?
It's just online, but we do have a physical office.
Okay.
You can find us at Madonna House, which is in Westlands, off Westlands Road, on the second floor, A206. Madonna House, second floor, in Westlands Road, in West East.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And how do you reward loyal customers? Because that's always the question. Yeah. Me, what keeps me on an app
Yeah.
is, I'm gonna get this if I do this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We do have amazing offers. Like right now during the month of November, we're having amazing offers. If you can get into our shop, pongafrica.shop, amazing offers. So for example, this weekend we started this thing whereby during the football games, during the Premier League right now, we're offering amazing offers for people who happen to predict the scores right. Yeah, so keep a lookout on our social handles at Pong Kenya or at Pong Africa on Twitter and on Facebook and Instagram, and you'll be able to get some amazing offers. You'll be able to predict the scores on the next games that are coming up. So we do have amazing offers that we continue to give to our customers, and I'm glad that you mentioned that in terms of loyalty, and it is something that we'll continue to look into in terms of ensuring that the loyalty is kept, so that if you come back, that you'll be able to either get some free earphones or be able to get some sort of loyalty in terms of ensuring that we keep you there as our valued customers.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll be one of your first coming for that loyalty
Karibu
one.
sana.
All right. We'll be back right after this.
Icon Radio.
Once again, welcome to the final day of Techstars Startup Weekend Nairobi Social Innovation. This has been the culmination of 54 hours, or almost 3 days, or 2.5 days of intense innovation to business in 3 days. So without further ado, I think we want to go straight to the judging.
What's your estimation of the construction of a biodigester, of a complete one?
Our big system costs 3 million shillings.
With the picture, you'll upload it to our platform, and our platform will visually search for vendors with that item and present to you a list of vendors with their prices and their location.
Neema, she's a 35-year-old woman who is living in Kilimani. Her main greatest desire is to grow her own food, but mtu atalimaje in Nairobi.
So I thought, why not gamify these concepts? Because gaming is the easiest way to acquire, engage, and retain customers real time.
There is too much collusion during procurement. There are proxies, there is a conflict of interest, and that has costed our country 600 billion Kenya shillings annually, starting from 2013 until to date.
Take an example of this item I have here. It is a token meter, but I stayed for 3 days without electricity just because I was not able to know how to input the token inside.
What is Startup Savannah? We are a government initiative looking to support Kenyan startups and SMEs reach the world through your innovation by helping you access mentorship, investments, corporate partnerships, and incubation acceleration support.
We basically looked at 3 areas, right? Number 1 was the business model, how viable it is, right? What is the value proposition? What is the competitive landscape? What is your comparative advantage, right? What is your positioning? Area number two was customers. Do you really know your customers? Is there really a need for this? Have you spoken to them? Right? And third and last was the execution, your prototypes.
Thanks again for taking this chance to try out the startup weekend. Literally go from just having an idea title to diving into your ideas, fleshing them out into what they are today.
It's been a wonderful experience to be part of this team and even be in an environment of such great minds. And I believe that it doesn't stop here. It's beyond here and more years to come.
And let's change Africa a step at a time. Let's build the next Silicon Savannah. Thank you.
This is Myra Maloba, the Afropunk Queen, and this is Money Mondays, where we do this each and every Monday from 10 to 12 on Icon Radio, and you're streaming us on www.iconradio.co.ke. Remember, you can find us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube as Icon Radio KE. We've got Jesse Muraya. We've had a really interesting conversation with Jesse Muraya, who's the CEO of Pong Agencies Limited. And during the break, he was even telling me, adding on to everything else he's doing that's really impressive, he's also a lecturer or a
trainer.
A trainer. A trainer at Overtalks. But yeah, you know this is Kenya. You carry those titles.
Professor.
You carry professor, lecturer, like, hi, I'm that guy. But yes, you're also a trainer at, how do you find the time to do all these things?
Even now I'm still wondering how I find that time. But I think it's all about planning. You wake up at the beginning of the week and plan your week.
Yeah.
Okay, so one thing, for example, you won't find me doing, I don't double book things. So for example, if I have something happening now, I'll avoid as much as I can to double book in the next 1 hour, even 30 minutes. I mean, we know how the traffic situation is and all that. So my calendar is often booked for almost a month. Because I know that I don't want to say I'm coming for this show today, for example, and then in the same day I want to go for another show in the afternoon, for example. Okay, so that is planned way ahead. So I think it's all about planning, but also having a passion for what you do. Okay, so if I'm able, and I think I've been able to marry all my passions together. And that has made me actually love exactly what I'm doing in every single engagement that I'm doing. So, for example, even on the entrepreneurship training thingy, even on that, it's something that I feel very passionate about.
Yeah.
It's something, I remember I've been to Strathmore, for example, university a number of times, and the business school. And I remember one of my teachers there used to keep telling me, why do you keep coming back? One of these days you'll soon teach, or you'll soon be a lecturer. and I'm laughing now. So it's something that I really feel passionate about, and I think there's so much knowledge out there, especially for people who've walked just a bit in front in terms of our journey to add on to other people. So if you can do that, then why not? And hope that I'm not telling them lies.
At what age did you decide that this is the path I'm going to take? I want to be in the IT business. I want to be a business person, an entrepreneur. At what age did you decide this is where I want to go?
Okay, let me start in terms of tech. If, for example, right now, if you give me a computer, okay, I'll probably be able to type at how many hundreds of words per minute. Okay, and that came about from the fact that I was exposed to computers at a very young age. My mom used to teach computers at the SQ in the backyard of our home when we were very, very young. When I must have been like 8 years old.
Nice.
Okay, so I was exposed to computers at a very young age. So even after homework, for example, you used to be told, okay, go and do your typing classes, because she used to teach, Microsoft Word, tools for typing. There used to be some very old tools, something called maybe Beacon. I don't think anyone who's listening may know.
I have no idea what you're talking
exactly,
about.
But so I was exposed at a very young age. So even after those classes, after we do the classes as children, I'd go back to the computer and just start tinkering around and start, doing my own thing. So it's something that I was exposed to at a young age and something that I loved and enjoyed doing. I was always curious about solving little challenges here and there. Okay, if I felt this wasn't working on the computer or this broke down, I'd either open it or I'd just tinker around with the software. So it's something that I've been passionate about. And in terms of business, I've never considered myself a business person, to be honest. I always consider myself maybe a lifelong learner.
All right.
Okay, so I'm always curious for challenges, learning new things,
Mm.
trying to do new stuff. So that always really excites me. So business came in as a challenge and something that I thought I could be able to learn. And yeah, somehow I've been able to do it for a very long time.
Mhm.
So that's how I view my world and my quote unquote entrepreneurship and business world.
Right.
Yeah.
Speaking of challenges, what is the biggest hurdle you've had to face in your career so far?
I think one of the biggest challenges is launching new things. I think that's always a challenge.
True.
Okay? Whether it's a new business that you're launching or it's a new product that you're launching, being able to get the word out there, definitely, I think that's one of the hugest challenges. Because, in your head, the market is there. The math does make sense because I studied finance, so I can be able to picture some of the projections happening. Okay, I can be able to put it on paper.
Right.
But actually hitting the ground and getting the word out there and being able to convince people to buy a product, especially, for example, a lot of what we've done outside of the shop has been predominantly B2B, business to business, because there's B2B and B2C, business to consumer. So the shop is business consumer, the traditional business, the IT infrastructure, that's B2B. So being able to go and walk into various doors, talk to certain CEOs out there, it's often such a huge challenge for them to take you seriously. Am I going to wear a suit today so that the CEO of Absa Bank or the CEO of wherever is going to take you seriously? Or am I going to play the tech card and go with t-shirts and and the likes? So ideally being able to convince people, because you're not convincing organizations, you're convincing people.
Yeah.
Because ideally within those organizations, they've got several people working along that organization. Okay, you've got all the way from the CEO, you've got the procurement officials, you've got the users, the IT guys, you've got the HR. You've got so many people that you've got to really sell to your product or your service. And that, I think, is one of the biggest challenges. That has, of course, challenges to do with our society. We live in Kenya. We all know that there are various infrastructural challenges, institutional challenges, everything from corruption, everything from lack of proper infrastructure, lack of regulation, all that, which has often been a very big challenge for a lot of us in business. And you're often competing with other people who really care, who have better opportunities, who perhaps are willing to forsake some of their morals so that they can be able to do some of these things. Yeah, so you do have all those challenges. But I think for me, I'm very positive minded. So I always think of these challenges as opportunities. I think these opportunities that can be solved. I think these opportunities that, if you are a proper entrepreneur, you can be able to look for the loophole in some of those challenges and turn it into a financial sort of gain. So for me, and on top of that, I think even look at some of these institutional challenges, it's probably part of the reason that I also joined, for example, the Chamber of Commerce. Rather than, Serikali's idea, rather than can the government do this and that? Can you look for a way to actually come closer to the people who make these decisions and ensure that some of these challenges you're facing, you can work on it almost like from within. So yeah, that's how I have approached that.
That's a great look on things. And that leads me to ask, what do you feel has been your greatest achievement so far? Your biggest victory out of everything you've mentioned that has been a challenge? Where have you said that, even if I didn't, get the immediate financial reward, this is mine, this is me, and I did this?
I don't know. There are several, and there are none at the same time.
Which one sticks out for you the most?
Which one sticks out for me the most? I think what sticks out to me the most is every opportunity that I get to be able to impact other people. Okay. I think for me, that's where I feel that most alive. I feel that's where I'm happiest. I feel so any opportunity that I get to impact. So whether it's in my business, if I'm hiring either a full-time position or an intern, that really feels good. Being able to do that, being able to work with some of these people throughout their journey, ensure that on top of them adding value for the organization that they're coming to work for us, I'm also able to even mentor them, also ensure that they're able to get the most out of themselves.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I think for me, those are areas that I feel I've succeeded the most.
Right.
And I really hope and pray that I'm able to exercise that even to a much, much greater level. Because I do believe that, the next unicorns, okay, that's 1 billion plus in terms of dollars valuation will come from Kenya. And I think that I'm quite confident through some of the efforts that I'm doing all around, whether it's through my business or through some of the activities I'm doing with the startup community, I can be able to play a role in ensuring that we get that next unicorn here.
Right.
Yeah.
And since this is your line of work, how do you usually encourage guys in the entrepreneurial space?
Okay. There's so many ways. So right now, for example, I did mention that we have a startup community called Startinev. So we have been doing, for example, the most recent, we have been doing weekly Twitter spaces around issues being faced by the startup community, around access to funding, access to finance, around being able to select the right team. So we bring in great speakers from around the world, not just from Kenya, to come and help bridge that knowledge gap and help ensure some of these younger guys, as they come up with their startups, they're not coming in from a point of no knowledge, they're coming in from a point of knowledge. So we've been doing that. Other than that, we've been running through Starting as well, we've been running something called the Textile Startup Weekend, which is a 3-day event, almost like a hackathon. So you come in with your idea, because you go to the bars, you go to the restaurants, you go to the coffee, the Javas, and you talk about various business ideas. But does that ever get utilized? Do you ever start that business? No. At least 80% of the people will talk about it but not do it. So the startup weekend ideally is, you had that idea, just come on a Friday, you leave there on Sunday with a full idea, and you have a winner.
Nice.
And you do have an amazing panel of judges and mentors to work with you through that journey.
Okay.
So that's those are some of the initiatives that I've come up together with the rest of an amazing team that I work with to be able to do certain things that will be able to just help impact younger people who are walking the same journey.
I really love that. No, you don't just tell people what to do. You don't just motivate them through words. You actually show them how it's meant to be done. You take your time and you create these workshops. It's amazing. We need more of these.
I'm not a good speaker. I know that.
You are a trainer. Very nice. Very nice. This has been really inspirational. So I just like you to kind of plug your businesses. Tell guys where they can find you and where to find Pong agencies and any other that you'd like to highlight.
Okay. So for our shop, for online store, you can find us at pongafrica.shop. Okay, just get onto Google right now, Google pongafrica.shop, and you'll be able to find all the amazing products that I've just talked about, okay, from all the way from smartphones, headphones, laptops, and of course with the best and most amazing brands that you'll find there, okay. And also feel free to reach out to us as well. So you can find our contacts there. There's a contact us form on email as well. Okay. And if you're a business also, you can reach us at pongafrica.com as well, in case you're looking for any solutions that I've just mentioned now around being able to empower your IT and ensure that your staff is able to continue working on their core business as we work towards ensuring that your technology is top notch.
Right.
Personally, you can also find me at It's Jesse Muraya. At It's Jesse Muraya, ITSJESSEMURAYA. Wow, okay. I can spell. Yeah, and
impressive.
Yeah, and you can find us also at Pong Africa and at Pong Kenya on our social handles. You can also reach me through at Startinev as well, where we work towards helping create the next unicorns out in this country. That's it in a nutshell.
Great.
And that's where you can find me.
Great. It's been a great conversation. Thank you so much, Jesse, for coming over to Money Mondays. We look forward to what you guys come up with in future, and we look forward to seeing the unicorns you bring out of the work that you do.
All right, thank you, Myra. Looking forward to being your first, or is it us, you being one of our first customers?
For sure. I got you. This has been Money Mondays. Be sure to follow us on Icon Radio KE everywhere on all social media handles, as well as stream us on www.iconradio.co.k. See you next Monday. But for me, it's peace out.
Icon Radio, your #1 entertainment plug.